and you will start to categorize them. You know how they always say, men are trash or women are trash. No, there is a sense of bitterness and resentment from being hurt from an individual from the opposite sex. Welcome to another episode of Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Hazel Tariro. If you have not done so already, please be sure to click on that subscribe button. Click on the notification bell so that every single time I make an upload, you will be notified. And share this video so that other people can gain some wisdom. Today we're going to be talking about falling out, breaking up, either in a friendship or in a relationship that you guys answered when I done the survey not too long ago on what topics you wanted me to discuss on Wisdom Wednesday. And one of the responses were talking about fallouts and breakups. And I think this goes perfectly with the previous episodes that I've done, which spoke about outgrowing friendships. And so this week, I thought it would be good to talk about how to deal with a breakup or a fallout within a friendship or even a relationship. But before we start, as always, we are going to start with the Proverbs of the day, which is in Colossians chapter 3, verse 13, which reads, "Bearing with one another and forgiving one another, if anyone has a complaint against another, even as Christ forgave you, so you also must do." So the first advice that I would give when you are dealing with a friendship breakup or fallout or even a relationship breakup is to give each other space, including all contact. Just give each other space, give each other time to heal, time to just be alone to reflect on what happened. And during that time, you need to focus on forgiving, as we just read in the Proverbs of the day. We need to forgive one another, letting that hurt, that pain go, surrendering to the Lord, pouring your heart out to the Lord, letting him know what's exactly on your mind, because the word of God tells us to pour our heart out to the Lord. And asking God for strength to forgive, because I'm not going to lie, sometimes forgiving people is not easy. Forgiving people, it can be hard, but it needs to be done because, sorry for the noise in the background. Forgiving people is not only for the other person, but it is for yourself. You need to let go, because the thing is, with unforgiveness, you'll start to grow bitterness towards that person or resentment towards that individual. And not only towards that individual, but let's say, for example, in the case of a relationship, if you don't forgive that person, you may, as a woman, you may start to feel a sense of bitterness towards men in general, and you will start to categorize them. You know how they always say, men are trash or women are trash. No, it's not that all men are trash. It's not that all women are trash. It is because there is a sense of bitterness and resentment from being hurt from an individual from the opposite sex. So that is why forgiveness is so important, because it will help you to heal and not see all men or all women as trash, because you are still seeing from that hurt, wounded perspective. Another thing is, during that time you're giving each other space, you need to reflect on what is going on in your heart. Do a heart check. Psalm 139 verse 25, I believe, says, "Oh God, search within me, search my heart." David was a man after God's own heart. And yes, he was not perfect. And he knew that there were times where he needed to do a heart check. He asked the Lord, "Search me, try me, know what is inside of me." And God can show you what's in your heart. God can show you if there is any bitterness, if there is any unforgiveness. And these things will not only affect you, but it will affect people around you and the way you perceive people in general. Like I said before, you will start to call all men are trash, all women are trash if you're in a relationship. So forgiveness is important because you don't want that to now impact your future relationships or friendships with people. Another thing you need to do is to pray for them. Yes, pray for them. Oftentimes, some of our enemies started out as our friends. And this is the unfortunate truth. Some people that we once called friends, we once called bestie, it's like now we view them as an enemy because of stuff like this, like fallouts and breakouts. But one thing that we need to do is learn to pray for them. Jesus said, love your enemies. So pray for them. Don't be disrespectful and going out there and sharing all the information and all the things that they shared with you when you were friends or when you were together, and now you're sharing it with the world because you feel, well, they hurt me, so I have every right to. No, you don't. Don't do that. Be respectful and be loving and treat them the way you would want them to treat you. If you do rekindle your friendship, if you do come back together as friends or in that relationship, take the time to talk it through, talk it out, and really listen. Try your best to not always point the fingers at that person, but to listen. Okay, how could I have done better in this situation? How did I react? Perhaps it was my reaction that triggered them. Perhaps it was the way I said it, my voice and my tone that triggered them. What is it about me that I can improve? And how can I better serve them as a friend or in that relationship? These are things that I would advise you to do. And I know it's not easy, trust me. I've been through a lot of friendship breakups and it's not been easy. And a lot of times I was always the one pointing fingers at them. Well, they did this and they hurt me and they did this and they did that. But God really showed me what was in my heart. God showed me that no. Now you're starting to be bitter towards this person. You really haven't forgiven them. And I was starting to grow a bitterness towards them and a resentfulness towards them. And it was affecting the way I not only saw them, but saw people around me. And so that's why it's important to forgive, and it's important to ask the Lord to show you what's in your heart and to uproot any roots of bitterness. If the friendship does not rekindle, if you end up going your separate ways, that's fine, that's okay. Perhaps the reason of that fallout or that breakup could be because you have simply outgrown each other, and that's okay. Moving forward, you can take things that you have learned from that friendship or that relationship and see how you can better improve yourself for the next, because you don't want to go on to another friendship or relationship with that tainted view of people because you're still holding on to grudges and unforgiveness and bitterness. It is really unhealthy for you, and it will affect your future relationships and friendships. So it's very important to do a heart check. It is very important to look at yourself and not only at the other person. And perhaps it could be that it is the other person's fault. But even in that situation, perhaps the way you reacted wasn't right. And that's something you can work on. And I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to let it marinate. Guys, that's about it for today. Thank you guys for watching this video if you've stuck with me to the end. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.